U.S. bombers with the RAF hot on the heels of the routed Nazi Afrika Korps, blasting the daylights out of Rommel's desert supply bases. Our camera plane has a narrow escape, its glass splintered by machine gun fire, but the Nazi fighter goes to blazing death, a victim of Yankee gunnery. On the ground, through famed Hellfire Pass, the headlong pursuit of Britain's victorious Eighth Army is slowed by torrential rains that make a quagmire of the desert. But they're a long way from stalled, and the artillery hammers relentlessly. With fast-moving advance columns of American-built M3s goes General Montgomery. Wearing a tank corps beret, the Irish Deacon's son directs the chase, past Tobruk and Benghazi and on toward El Agheila, sledgehammering the foe without let-up. The infantry, desert-bitten veterans of many a fight with their backs to the wall, now write a chapter that history may well record as the turning point of this war, racing on the heels of the enemy. Miles from El Alamein, their starting point, the British pursue demoralized Axis armies. Longest sustained advance in military history, smashing 70% of the enemy's mechanized equipment in its tracks. Nazi warplanes knocked out on the ground. They never even got a chance to assemble these. Look at this spectacle. Acres of prisoners, dazed by the ferocity of Montgomery's attack, give up without a struggle. Among them, Nazi flyers fresh from the Russian front, who never got off the desert sands, and 9 Italian generals that brought in entire divisions. Richest prize, Nazi General Ritter von Thoma, commander of the Afrika Korps, seized in his armored car by a British hussar. Arriving at headquarters, Rommel's second-in-command finds Montgomery a generous captor. Ever westward surge the British. Down comes the swastika as Rommel falls back toward Tripoli. Once again, victorious over Libya, flies the Union Jack.
Today, we are making as many combat weapons, tanks, planes, guns, ships, as the entire Axis. Today, the United Nations together are turning out twice as many weapons as the enemy. But we cannot win a war simply by equaling or even outproducing our enemies. We must have a smashing superiority and keep it that way to the end. So I give you this solemn thought. The cost of keeping our freedom will be measured not in money, not in time, not in production, but in American lives. Keep this thought burning in your minds and hearts, that countless lives and untold suffering will be saved if extra effort at home brings victory just 1 month closer.
Light from the dark continent, light of hope for the United Nations. Past ruined Benghazi's unscarred cathedral roll Montgomery's relentless legions. Final victory in sight. In the smoke of Axis ships burning in the harbor is written the epitaph of Axis hopes in Africa. One by one, Rommel's ports of supply are closed. Rommel's army is on the run. The Nazi myth of invincibility lies buried in Africa's sands.